Good evening. I'd like to call the Zoning Board of Appeals for Tuesday, October 29th, 2019 to order. Will the city call the roll, please?
Ms. Defoe?
Here.
Ms. Selesny?
Here.
Mr. Wygum?
Present.
Mr. Rogers?
Here.
Mr. Freeman?
Here.
Madam Chairperson, you have a quorum to conduct business.
Thank you. Are there any communications?
Not at this time.
Okay, so we will move into the public hearing. For those of you who haven't joined us before, let me explain our procedures briefly. The city will call each case by the case number, read a short summary of that case. We ask you as the appellant to step forward to the podium, state your name and address, anyone who's speaking on the case, as well as sign in. There's a sign-in sheet at the podium. And then explain to us what you're asking for and why. Then the city will read the findings of fact. We'll ask you to agree with them or add anything at that time. We'll open it up to the public. If there's anyone from the public here who wishes to speak on your case, that would be the appropriate time for you to step forward. We'll close public comment and then turn it over to the board to deliberate and then move on to the next case. So will the city call the first case, please?
For ZBA case 1922, the appellant, Kaiser Industries, Michelle Freeman, representing the owner, McDonald's Corporation, is requesting the following waiver from the board for a modification of Zoning Board of Appeals case 1213 to add an electronic menu board. The property is located on the west side of Southfield Road between 12 and 13 Mile Roads at 30161 Southfield Road, Sidwell parcel 2411. 226028, Zone B3, General Business, signage for special uses. This appeals to Article 11, Section 8.60, signage for special uses in B3, Paragraph 2, and Article 3, Section 8.50A, electronic changeable copy, Chapter 99 of the Southfield City Code, more commonly known as the ordinance, and I believe the appellant is going to ask for this case to be dismissed without prejudice, but I'll let her go ahead and do that.
Hi, good evening.
Hello, good evening. My name is Michelle Freeman. I'm with Kaiser Industries. The address is 9015 South Kedzie, Evergreen Park, Illinois.
Okay.
And yeah, as Ed stated, this property owner is not proceeding with this drive-through menu board project at this time.
Okay.
So they, at very short notice, asked to withdraw this petition or this request. So
Okay.
I'll still speak to the next two McDonald's. There was 3 in total, so just this one store.
Okay, sounds good. So we need a motion.
I move that we dismiss this case without prejudice.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that motion carries. Will the city call the next case, please?
For ZBA case 1924, the appellant, Kaiser Industries, Michelle Freeman, representing the owner, McDonald's USA LLC, is requesting the following waiver from the board for the modification of Zoning Board of Appeals case 0748 to add electronic menu boards. Property is located on the northwest side of Northwestern Highway at the intersection of Franklin Road at 28670 Northwestern Highway, Sidwell parcel 2418, 226013, Zone B3, General Business. This appeal is to Article 11, Section 8.60, signage for special uses in B3, Paragraph 2, and Article 3, Section 8.50A, electronic changeable copy, Chapter 99 of the Southfield City Code, more commonly known as the sign ordinance.
All right. Hi.
Hello. Hello again. Can I repeat my name for this case?
Yes, please.
Okay. Michelle Freeman, Kaiser Industries, 9015 South Kedzie, Evergreen Park, Illinois.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So what this is you may have seen some of the
Could
new
you get closer to the mic? There you go. Thank you.
This is better. Just kidding. There's that better? Better?
Yeah.
Like leaning in. I'm pretty tall, too. So the McDonald's, what they call the ODMB, so the Outdoor Menu Board Project, you may have seen many of the McDonald's either have had a full, complete remodel, in which inside and outside they've done everything from replacing the indoor digital menu boards and then carrying that out into the outdoor drive-through. They have those self-order kiosks, et cetera. For this particular project that I'm here for, these stores either have already gone through the interior remodel and then now, and the outdoor boards weren't ready at that time, so now they need the outdoor board, drive-through menu boards changed out, or they're going to have their full remodel sometime in the future. And this project, the drive-through menu board project nationwide, is supposed to be completed by the end of 2019, but we're getting close. So really what they are is just taking out the old manual changeable copy signs. Most of them, there's two styles. One is like 42 square feet. The other one's 43 square feet. So each menu board is 43 square feet. The new menu boards are less than half that size. They're 20 square feet. And then any pre-browse that were to be put in, that's like the ones that are just before that you pull up, you're that second car, you look at that, those are about 10 square feet, 9.97, depending if you measure inside or outside. Every municipality is a little bit different. So they're significantly reduced. They are electronic or 100% digital, but they are not, I want to say they don't flash, they don't have animation, they don't have video. It's really just menu content. There's a white background for the menu during the daytime with black text. So during the daytime, when the automatic sensor that adjusts to the ambient natural lighting outside, it allows that to not glare so much when the sun is shining. It changes only as the regular menu changes now, just like if they were to walk out and flip it from breakfast to lunch to dinner. The dinner time menu does change. The background changes to black with white text. Again, that helps reduce the glare and the intensity of the light that's needed. The lowest end of the nits, if you want to know, is 500, set to adjust between 500 and 2500. So the lighting now is about 57,000 lumens is what fluorescent lighting is measured in. Some people, I had to learn some of this. But even at its brightest, these new boards are like 36,000 lumen equivalent. But again, they adjust so that it's what works best for just natural reading of a customer if you're up. If you're sitting in the drive-thru, they don't want it to be blinded or anything like that. That's kind of an overview. Does anybody have any questions, or I can leave
So that's
that
fine. We'll
to-
have the city read the findings of fact, please.
Okay.
For ZBA case 1924, the appellant Kaiser Industries, Michelle Freeman, representing the owner, McDonald USA LLC, is requesting the following waiver from the board for the modification of Zoning Board of Appeals case 0748 to add electronic menu boards. Property is located on the northwest side of Northwestern Highway at the intersection of Franklin Road at 28670 Northwestern Highway, Sidwell parcel 2418226-013, Zone B3, General Business. To the north, the property is Zone B3, General Business, and is currently developed with the 12 High Plaza. To the south, excuse me, across Northwestern Highway, the property is Zone B1, Neighborhood Business, and is currently developed with a small retail center and the Promenade Plaza shops. To the west, directly abutting and sharing common parking and entrance facilities, the property is Zone B3, General Business, and is developed with a PNC bank. To the east, the property is Zone B3, General Business, and currently developed with a Chase Bank. The site contains a total of 0.79 acres of land with 0.27 acres of leased land from the property to the west for parking requirements at the site. There is 113.30 feet of frontage on the Northwestern Highway at a depth of 344.30 to 369.80 feet. The site has special use approval for the McDonald's restaurant with drive-through. The landscape provided exceeds the amount required. The elevations show a mix of brick, cultured stone, and glass. The site has 2 entrances and exits, one each along the Northwestern Highway, which is the main entrance, and one at the northwest portion of the site accessing Franklin Road through the site directly abutting, which is the PNC Bank. Directional signage exists, meeting ordinance requirements to direct traffic within these 2 sites. The site has double drive-up ordering lanes with 1 single pickup point. The site, as part of a development combined with the site to the west, PNC Bank, would be permitted 1 wall sign on the south elevation, Northwestern Highway, at 80 square feet in area. No ground support or garden ground signs would have been permitted because PNC, the other portion of development, was allowed to use the maximum amount of ground signage. There was a previous variance approval in ZBA case 0748 allowing for the additional wall signage, menu board signage, and increased sign area, and a waiver of the definition of a development to allow additional ground signage and additional ground sign area. A modification was made in ZBA case 1001 to relocate the McDonald letter wall sign from the front elevation facing Northwestern Highway to the west elevation, and to relocate the M logo from the east elevation to the north elevation. A survey of signage at the site reveals illuminated wall signs consisting of 3 signs with a combined area of 59.25 square feet. Total as follows: 1 set of internally illuminated letters advertising McDonald's on the west elevation, 41.25 square feet in area. 1 McDonald logo, 9 square feet in area, calculated as an oval, which is permitted by ordinance on the south elevation. 1 McDonald logo, 9 square feet in area, calculated again as an oval, which is permitted by the ordinance on the north elevation. 1 illuminated ground support sign, 50 square feet in the area, calculated as 3 shapes, a rectangle and 2 half ellipses, as permitted by ordinance. 11 feet in overall height and a 2-foot setback from the property line. Due to the double drive-up lanes, 2 identical illuminated single-sided menu board signs, 32.6 square feet in area, 6 feet in overall height, 1 located at each ordering station. There are also multiple prohibited sign types which were not granted in any ZBA case and actually are a violation of the conditions of the previous waivers, and they exist at the site. They include 1 against the ground sign on the south elevation, a wall banner on the east elevation, a portable pre-sale menu boards near the auxiliary sign. They're like little signs with stakes on them. The appellant is seeking waivers for 2 identical illuminated single-sided auxiliary menu board signs to be updated to electronic changeable copy menu boards. 1 electronic changeable copy sign is permitted, so the waiver would be for the additional changeable copy menu board and electronic signs permitted as such. And they were granted in ZBA case 0748 previously.
Okay, thank you. Do you agree with those facts? Do you have anything you'd like to add?
No. I'm going to trust what he just said.
That's a wise idea. Okay, will you read the staff recommendation, please?
Sure. Staff's recommendation is for favorable consideration of the modification of ZBA case 0748 for the development, McDonald's and PNC Bank, as follows: to update the 2 existing identical illuminated single-sided auxiliary menu board signs. The original ones were 32.6 square feet in area. These are reduced down to 20 square feet in area. 6 feet in overall height, 1 located at each ordering station, and 2 electronic changeable menu boards. With the following conditions: the appellant agreed to eliminate any future use of banners, balloons, balloon structures, portable signs, or flags other than the United States or Michigan, or vehicles displaying advertising signage parked to be visible to the right-of-way as required by ordinance. No permanent searchlights be used to gain attention to any site or feature of the building. All other signage at the site meet the definition of directional signage. No other temporary or permanent signage advertising products or promotions to the drive-up customers. No signage be attached to the speaker stand or monument sign on the south elevation. The owner be brought back to this board at the first available meeting if violations of these conditions are noted, as well as providing a signed and notarized letter of acknowledgement from McDonald's corporate and any applicable franchisee agreeing to these conditions. The appellant provide a copy of these conditions to any local manager at the site and explain the consequences of the violations. This recommendation is based on the following: all existing signage will remain the same except for the update to the menu boards. The proposed changes will be minor in nature since the menu boards are not visible from the road. and a signed and notarized letter is received from McDonald's Corporate and any applicable franchisee.
Okay, thank you. Anything you'd like to add at this point, or we can open it up to public comment?
I have no comment. We can agree to everything that he just stated.
Okay, thank you. If you'll have a seat in the front row. If anyone's here from the public who wishes to speak on this case, please step forward. Otherwise, we will close public comment and turn it over to the board. Mr. Friedman?
I don't have any issues with the staff recommendation. I think the proposed signs look better than the old signs, so I don't have any issues with the staff
right.
recommendation.
Thank you. Ms. Lesney?
I'm not sure if we can do this, but I'd like to make this contingent upon them cleaning up their act and getting rid of all the signs that they're not supposed to have and all the
Pre-sale.
all the pre-sales and whatever else that they've
Non-signs.
put out there that doesn't belong there. I think that the idea of doing these digital signs is very good, and I think it's an improvement, but I don't see why I should trust them to follow their word if they haven't done it so far. Even when they want something, they haven't done it, so that's my point. We're allowed to make it contingent, are we not?
If I might, through the chair to Mrs. Leslie, it is a condition stated, it does read in there that, that they must have a signed, notarized sign letter from corporate and the franchisees understanding those conditions, and I will expect that those signs will be removed prior to the installation of the electronic signage.
Yes, I want to make it sure that it is prior.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Wygum?
I agree with Ms. Lesney. The electronic makes sense. Just out of curiosity, does that mean that there's one less person hired at McDonald's that goes out and changes it?
No.
Okay, no, I agree with the city, and McDonald's has to clean up their act.
Mr. Rogers?
I don't have a problem with this either. It looks a cleaner and smaller thing to look at. My question is, who enforces the signage issues? Is this a code enforcement officer?
If I might, it would be through the chair to Mr. Rogers. Most of the time, it's myself.
Oh.
And I think I'm going to expand this a little bit just so the board knows. I've had real trouble because what happens is there's a lot of turnover in managers at these sites. And I can go in and talk to one of them and explain it to them, and they always come out and take the stuff out. They do always come out and take the stuff out. But then I think what happens is, at least what I've been told, it could be wrong, is that McDonald's corporate comes in and puts the stuff back out there, sometimes letting them know they claim or not letting them know. That's what they claim. I don't know. So what's happening here is somehow or another the message has to get back to McDonald's corporate so that they know, okay, hold on, we're not sending out that package of McRib signs or whatever it would be. So that's where the link is, I think, that I'm missing, is I can go in and ask them to remove them, and that's fine. But that's starting to get, repetitive to have to do that and explain that multiple times. So that's where we're coming from.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking, is like, is this redundant, just keep going over there and over there versus say, hey, no, if you don't do this, you don't have that. I'm like, it seems like there's no repercussions.
The only issue is that I would have to bring them back before the board.
And we would just sit here and talk about it just like we are now, so.
Can I give an explanation? I will say, I know I talked about the pre-browse here, and I stand corrected. I go to so many municipalities. The pre-browse boards aren't allowed in South, so I'm not asking for that second board here. I will explain, as part of the overarching project nationwide, that pre-browse board, what that is supposed to be for is, because it's like one screen versus the two screens of the menu board, is exactly what you're talking about, those staked things. McDonald's corporate calls them POP, point of purchase materials. And again, for clarification, I'm with Kaiser, so I work for one of the integrators that's like managing a certain chunk of these projects nationwide, so I'm not McDonald's corporate, but I can certainly tell you what I know about like the projects. So because most stores nationwide are going to have a menu board and a pre-browse, McDonald's corporate will no longer be making those point of purchase marketing staked things. So as far as corporate is concerned, when those things are, that's what's actually supposed to be like uploaded or sent through the software that's going to be portrayed on either the menu board or a pre-browse in locations, because you're going to drive around, you're going to see other McDonald's with those boards, and you're going to remember what I'm referring to. So that shouldn't be a problem. Will an owner, franchisee somewhere somehow make their own through a local thing? That's always a possibility. But I think, as you stated, as a municipality, you have these things in place. We will have that document notarized and let the franchisee owner and McDonald's corporate know. And that's, like as much as I can promise you or secure. And I think that's the most that you guys can do as well, other than, like he said, if there's an infraction, you notify them, bring them before the board, or fine them in some places. So. But you're talking a lot about those staked materials, so I can tell you, in general, they're not going to be made in the future. Those topper things that you see hanging at the top, the new menu boards don't even have attachments or any place for them to do that. So that's fully not the intention for there to be all that extra gadget. That's what moving towards this new technology is supposed to be for, so that you can change that, make it greener, more sustainable. There's no more paper. They're not sending those things out, so. Sorry, I just want to make sure, maybe that might ease
No, I appreciate it, thank you.
part of that.
Question.
Yes.
Ed, if the quote owner of it does this, I mean, she represents corporate, but if the owner of it doesn't do it, who do you talk to say, you come back here, you're not.
It's going to be the owner. That's why I want this signed. If it's a franchisee store, which I assume all of them are, there's probably no corporates, not at least in these.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not, I know we have some corporate and some franchisees,
So
so it
I'll
would be one
either-
or both. The franchisee owner and/or the real property owner usually is McDonald's USA, McDonald's Real Estate, and/or the franchisee.
If I have to, I'll bring them both back in front of the board.
What kind of teeth do you have?
You can remove the waivers.
Do they get fined if they don't?
If they don't.
I mean, they put up,
Yeah,
Yeah,
if they don't
I could
comply,
absolutely
right.
write a ticket because those signs are not permitted by ordinance, so I absolutely could, but I'd first bring them in front of the board, and probably at the same time write a ticket and see how we resolve it. I'm hoping that this will resolve the matter, but I've brought this up many times. Obviously, this is not, the appellant's representing the company that's doing that. I just really wanted to get up as high as I can at the chain of McDonald corporate, and make sure that if the franchisee have to sign something, hopefully they'll be a little more cognizant that they're signing a document than just being handed the requirements.
how long has the current problem been going on with this one?
For a while, but as I say, every time I stop in, they instantly take care of it. I mean, no matter what time of day is, they'll come out and take care of it. And it doesn't show up for quite a while again. So it's somewhat of a battle, so all I can do really is educate people. That's the best I can do at this point. Other than at some final point, we'll have to bring it back to the board and have a discussion on what we're going to do. Whether we're going to remove waivers, which could be waivers for the permanent signs, because this is a condition not only on the menu boards, but on the permanent signs too from the earlier cases. So you could indeed say, okay, well, you lose your waiver for your wall signs, your additional wall signs, so they need to come down. That's a possibility.
Well, they appear to be just ignoring us, and I don't want that to happen.
I just wonder if we dictate that what we want in the letter for them to recognize not just these conditions, but the repercussions of those conditions.
Correct.
So, okay, anything else? I mean, I agree. I think the intent of the menu boards is to clean it all up. right? Put it all in one place, make it very nice, clean, sharp look.
Yes, absolutely. And the other signage, and this has happened before, and I don't know if you had shared that with me before, but if there's like a wall band or anything else that's non-conforming, now that I'm really aware of it, I mean, right now, as far as this project, until this is installed, do a lot of the communicating with the owner-operator. And in other municipalities, we had the same situation, and it was like, they're not gonna release the permits until this comes down off of the trash receptacle, which was not even supposed to be there in the first place. This is in this example. And, you know, these other things. So when you talk about getting it up the ranks, I mean, I can get it as far as to directly to the franchisee, to the like area construction, the development team, they're all copied on there, and then the like top ODMB project person. So there, and McDonald's Legal does see these documents and sign them. Again, I can't make any personal guarantees, but I do know that's like the process I go through and who will be signing those forms. So I'll make sure that it's done before permitting until the project is over, and then you'll have that paperwork.
Okay. Mr. Rogers, will you make a motion for us?
In regard to ZBA case 19-24, the appellant Kaiser Industries, Michelle Freeman, representing the owner McDonald's USA LLC, is requesting the following waiver from the board. Modification of ZBA case 07-48 to add electronic menu boards. Property is located on the northwest side of Northwestern Highway at the intersection of Franco Road. The address is 28670 Northwestern Highway, Sidwell parcel 2418-226013, Zone B3, General Business. I make a motion for a favorable consideration of this modification to ZBA case 07-48 for the development of McDonald's and PNC Bank as follows. To update the two existing identical illuminated single-sided auxiliary menu board signs, 32.6 square feet in area, 6 feet in overall height, one located at each ordering station, to electronic changeable copy menu boards with the following conditions. Number
Mr. Rogers,
one.
can I just interrupt you for 1 second? We just want to make sure that you are granting the modification of that case, right?
Making a motion for granting of this modification of
Perfect.
CBA case
Thank you.
07-48, yes. With the following conditions. Number one, the appellant agrees to eliminate any future use of banners, balloons, or balloon structures, or portable signs or flags other than United States or State of Michigan, or vehicles displaying advertising signage parked to be visible to the right-of-way as required by ordinance. No permanent searchlights be used to gain attention to the site or any feature of the building. Number two, all other signage at the site meet the definition of directional signage. Number three, no other temporary or permanent signage advertising products or promotions to the drive-up customers. Number four, no signage be attached to the speaker stand or monument sign on the south elevation. Number five, the owner be brought back to this board at the first available meeting if violations of these conditions are noted, as well as providing a signed and notarized letter of acknowledgement from McDonald's at corporate and any applicable franchisee agreeing to these conditions. And lastly, the appellant provides a copy of these conditions to any local manager at the site and explains the consequences of these violations. This motion is based on the following. Number one, all existing signage will remain the same except for the update to the menu boards. Number two, the proposed changes will be minor in nature since the menu boards are not visible from the road. And number three, a signed and notarized letter is received from McDonald's corporate and any applicable franchisee.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Okay, will the city call the next case, please?
For ZBA case 1925, the appellant Kaiser Industries, Michelle Freeman, representing the owner McDonald's Corporation, is requesting the following waiver from the board for the modification of ZBA case 0827 to add electronic menu boards. The property is located on the east side of Telegraph Road between 9 and 10 Mile Roads at 24480 Telegraph Road, Sidwell parcel 2429227-021, zoned I-1 Industrial. To the north, the property is zoned I-1 Industrial and currently developed with the Delight Cleaners. To the south, the property is zoned I-1 Industrial and is currently developed with a international granite showroom. To the west, across Telegraph Road, the property is zoned I-1 industrial and is currently developed with the Gordon Food Ooh, I am doing that right.
Yeah,
Was I supposed to read the?
No, we weren't ready for that yet. That's okay. I just noticed you went too far. That's all right.
That's why she went
Hi,
like
good
this.
evening.
Hi, good evening.
Third
Hello.
time's a charm.
I'm Michelle Freeman with Kaiser Industries, 9015 South Kedzie, Evergreen Park, Illinois. And ditto. No, can I say that? I can say it all again, or?
You don't have to say it all
Okay,
again, but
it's
just a
the
brief
same
summary.
scope of the project, or as the other project, removing the 2 existing manual changeable copy menu boards and replacing them with 2 new electronic digital copy menu boards.
Great,
Yeah.
thank you. Will the city read
So-
the findings of fact?
I
please?
will, but I'm going to real quick, which
Yes.
is what I should have done, and I apologize. I need to add, this appeal is to Article 11, Section 8.60, signage for special uses in B3, Paragraph 2, and Article 3, Section 8.50, electronic changeable copy, Chapter 99 of the Southfield City Code, more commonly known as the sign ordinance.
Thank you.
Sorry. And then I will continue on. To the north, the property is zoned I-1, developed with the Delight Cleaners. To the south, the property is zoned I-1 and developed with International Granite Showroom. To the west, across Telegraph Road, the property is zoned I-1 Industrial and currently developed with the Gordon Food Service site. To the east, separated by a 6-foot masonry wall, the property is zoned RE Single Family Residential and is an undeveloped lot along Berg Road. The site contains a total of 1.71 acres of land with parking areas to the north, south, and east of the building. 1 separate entrance exits to the south of the site and a separate exit exists to the north, both along the Telegraph Road frontage. The ordering section of the drive-through is in the rear of the site, shielded from the major thoroughfare by the building and parking areas. The site has permitted a transfer of requirements from I-1 Industrial to B3 General Business Zone, special use consisting of a drive-through restaurant. This is the only section of the sign ordinance which has allowances for auxiliary menu board signage. This section allows for 1 auxiliary menu board sign in a maximum area of 35 square feet, maximum height of 5 feet from grade, and not visible from any public street. Survey signage at the site reveals 1 legal nonconforming due to height, 35 square foot in area, 25 feet in height, illuminated ground support sign. 1 48 square feet in area, illuminated wall sign on the west elevation. 1 32 square feet in area, 5 feet in overall height menu board. Actually, there's 2 menu boards at the site, or am I incorrect? Just has 1 menu board. Thank you. Okay. Assorted directional signage for drive-through, etc., and multiple prohibited sign types, again, not granted in ZBA case, and a violation of the conditions of the previous waivers, including wall sign banner on the south elevation, and portable pre-sell menu boards near the auxiliary sign menu boards. The appellant is seeking waivers for 2 identical illuminated single-sided auxiliary menu board signs to be updated to electronic changeable copy menu boards. 1 electronic changeable menu board is permitted, so the waiver is for not only the electronic portion, but the additional changeable copies, additional menu boards, sorry. The secondary board was granted in ZBA case 0827.
Okay, thank you. Do you agree with those facts? And is there anything you'd like to add at this point?
No, I agree with those facts.
Okay, thank you.
Staff's recommendation is again for favorable consideration of the modifications of ZBA case 827 to update the 2 existing auxiliary menu board signs to electronic changeable copy as follows. To update the 2 existing identical illuminated single-sided auxiliary menu boards, which were 32.6 square feet in area, 6 feet in overall height, 1 located at each ordering station, 2 smaller 20 square foot electronic changeable copy menu boards with the following conditions. The appellant agrees to eliminate any future use of banners, balloons, balloon structures, or portable signs or flags of other than the United States or state of Michigan, or vehicles displaying advertising signage parked to be visible to the right-of-way as required by ordinance. No permanent searchlights be used to gain attention to the site or any feature of the building. All other signage at the site meet the definition of directional signage. No other temporary or permanent signage advertising products or promotions to the drive-up customers. No signage attached to the speaker stand or monument sign on the south elevation. The owner be brought back to this board at the first available meeting if violations of these conditions are noted, as well as providing a signed and notarized letter of acknowledgments from McDonald's corporate and any applicable franchisee agreeing to these conditions. The appellant provide a copy of these conditions to any local manager at the site and explain the consequences of the violations. This recommendation is based on the following. All existing signage will remain the same except for the update to the menu boards. The proposed changes will be minor in nature since the menu boards are not visible from the road. And a signed and notarized letter is received from McDonald's corporate and any applicable franchisee.
Thank you. Anything else you want to add right now?
Nope, nothing else.
Okay, we'll open the public hearing. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak on this case? Seeing none, we'll close public hearing and turn it over to the board. Mr. Friedman?
As before, no issues with staff's recommendation.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Leslie?
I have the same comment as I had on the previous case, and other than that, I agree with the city.
Okay, Mr. Wygum?
I agree with the city, and my comments are the same as the other one, that you need to clean up your act.
Thank you. Mr. Rogers?
I do agree also. It seems to me that the municipalities vary with their signage requirements nationally as well as locally here.
Sure.
And that's why you see every McDonald's here. We're dealing with the same issue with the extra signs and stuff, so we can be a pioneer, I guess, in having maybe more of a less tolerant and more, something that lasts longer than knocking on the door every 6 months and saying, hey, you need to take these down. So other than that.
Thank you. And I agree with the city recommendation as well. So, Mr. Wygum, will you make the motion for us, please?
Sure. In regard to ZBA case 19-25, the appellant Kaiser Industries, Michelle Freeman, representing the owner, McDonald's Corporation, requesting the following waiver from the board. Modification of ZBA case 08-27 to add electronic menu boards. The property is located on the east side of Telegraph Road between 9 and 10 Mile Roads at 24480 Telegraph Road. I move that we grant this waiver and to update the two existing identical illuminated single-sided auxiliary menu board signs, 32.6 square feet in area, 6 feet in overall height, one located at each ordering station, to electronic changeable copy menu boards. These conditions apply. 1, the appellant agrees to eliminate any future use of banners, balloons, or balloon structures, or portable signs or flags other than the U.S. or state of Michigan, or vehicles displaying advertising signage parked to be visible to the right-of-way as required by ordinance. No permanent searchlight be used to gain attention to the site or any feature of the building. All other signage at the site needs to meet the definition of a directional signage. No other temporary or permanent signage advertising products or promotions to the drive-up customers. No signage be attached to the speaker stand or monument side on the south elevation. The owner be brought back to this board at the first available meeting if violations of these conditions are noted, as well as providing a signed and notarized letter of acknowledgement from McDonald's Corporation and any applicable franchisee agreeing to these conditions. And 6, the appellant provide a copy of these conditions to any local manager at the site and explain the consequences of the violation. This is based on the following: that all existing signage will remain the same except for the update of the menu boards. The proposed changes will be minor in nature since the menu boards are not visible from the road. A signed notarized letter is received from McDonald's Corporation and any applicable franchisee.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, good evening.
Will the city call the next case, please?
For ZBA Case 1926, the appellant Vortex Signs, Abraham Haymick, representing the owner, Abbas Oil LLC, is requesting the following waiver from the board for additional wall signage, additional wall sign area, auxiliary electronic sign, which is a menu board. The property is located on the west side of Southfield Road between 12 and 13 Mile Roads at 30915 Southfield Road, Sidwell parcel 2411-226004, Zone B3, General Business. This appeal is to Article 11, Section 8.60, signage for special uses in B3, Paragraph 2, and Article 3, Section 8.50A, electronic changeable copy, Chapter 99 of the Southfield City Code, more commonly known as the sign ordinance.
Thank you. Is the appellant here?
Good evening. Michael Zaks. I'm the general manager of Vortex Signs, representing Abbas Oil for the Tim Hortons at 30915 Southfield Road.
All right, thank you. Give us a summary of what you're asking for and why it's needed.
Sure. This is the new build attached to the mobile station on the southwest corner of Southfield Road and 13 Mile Road. The petitioner is requesting to have two wall signs, one on the north elevation and one on the east elevation. Those signs, including the channel letters and the cafe and bake shop, comprise 31 square foot on each elevation. They're also requesting a digital menu sign at the back of the building. That sign is not visible from the street. This is a new build location, so we're requesting both signs on both elevations, and it would certainly be a hardship to eliminate one of them. I have the franchiser from Tim Hortons if you have any specific questions for him. If you have any questions on the signage, I'd be happy to try to answer those.
Okay, thank you. Will the city read the findings of fact, please?
For ZBA Case 1926, the appellant Vortex Signs, Abraham Haymick, representing the owner, Abbas Oil LLC, is requesting the following waivers from the board for additional wall signage, additional wall sign area, and an auxiliary electronic menu board sign. The property is located on the west side of Southfield Road between 12 and 13 Mile Roads at 30915 Southfield Road, Sidwell parcel 2411-226004, Zone B3, General Business. To the north is a BP gas station in the city of Beverly Hills. To the east, across Southfield Road, the property is zoned NS, Neighborhood Shopping, and developed with a CVS pharmacy. To the south, the property is zoned B3, General Business, and developed with a single-story office building with the occupancy of Upliger Dental. To the west, the property is zoned OS, Office Service, and developed with a single-story office complex, Beacon Hill. The subject property is zoned B3 General Business and is currently developed with a 2,284 square foot mobile gas station and adjoining Tim Hortons restaurant. The site has two entrances and exits along Southfield Road frontages and 13 Mile Road frontage. There is immature landscaping along both frontage. The drive-up window for Tim Hortons is located on the south elevation behind the building. A survey of signage at the site reveals the following: two wall signs on the canopy, 30 square feet in area each for mobile gas station on the north and east elevations. An illuminated ground support sign in the right-of-way, 50 square feet in area, with a vacant sign proposed for Tim Hortons. The gas station is considered a special use in the zoning district B3 General Business and is allowed one wall sign per major thoroughfare frontage, including signs placed on the canopy, which don't exceed 2 square foot per linear foot of building frontage or 100 square feet, whichever is less. One ground support or garden ground sign, which shall not exceed an area of 50 square feet. one product price sign with a total area of 15 square feet for 2 products prices or 20 square feet for 3 or more product prices, and must be attached to either the ground support sign or garden ground sign or building or canopy fascia. The restaurant is considered a special use in the zoning district B3 general business and is allowed 1 wall sign per major thoroughfare frontage with a total area not to exceed 1 square foot per linear foot of building frontage, or 100 square foot, whichever is less. 1 ground support sign which does not exceed 50 square feet in area, and 1 garden ground sign, or 1 garden ground sign that does not exceed 5 feet in height or an area of 80 square feet. 1 auxiliary sign per drive-through shall not exceed 5 feet in height and an area of 35 square feet.
All right, thank you. Do you agree with those facts?
I do.
Okay, is there anything else you'd like to add at this point?
No, there's not.
Okay, will the city read the staff recommendation, please?
Staff's recommendation is for favorable consideration of the waiver for 1 additional wall sign on the north elevation where the entrance to the restaurant is located, and 1 electronic menu board as presented, and to deny the 2nd wall sign located on the east elevation with the following conditions. The appellant agree to eliminate any future use of banners, balloons, balloon structures, or portable signs or flags other than the United States or state of Michigan, or vehicles displaying advertising signage parked to be visible to the right-of-way as required by ordinance. No permanent searchlights be used to gain attention to any site or feature of the building. All other signage at the site meet the definition of directional signage. No other temporary or permanent signage advertising products or promotions to the drive-up customers. No signage be attached to the speaker stand, and the owner be brought back to this board at the first available meeting if violations of these conditions are noted, and the appellant provide a copy of these conditions to any local manager at the site and explain the consequences of the violations. This recommendation is based on the following. The site is a mixture of 2 distinct uses within the sign ordinance: gas station and drive-through restaurant, both having unique needs for signage. The recommended signage, 1 wall sign and 1 menu board sign, are the minimum signage needed to operate both uses at the site. The wall signage on the north elevation at the entrance to the Tim Hortons restaurant will aid visitors in identifying the correct entrance to Tim Hortons. And the denial of the 2nd wall sign on the east elevation is an example of sign proliferation with minimal visibility.
Okay, thank you. Do you have anything you?
I do. I think we essentially agree with staff's recommendations. However, we feel that the Southfield Road side, which is a larger elevation anyway, would be the more valuable and have the better presence. If we put the sign on the north elevation, we'd only be addressing southbound traffic on Southfield Road. So again, both signs are exactly the same size, and the Southfield Road elevation is larger than the front elevation in any case.
Okay, thank you. Let's open it up to the public. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak on this case? Okay, seeing none, we'll close public comment and turn it over to the board. Mr. Weigum?
First off, there is a business, and I assume it's the mobile business that is right adjacent to it. I went in there and said, "You're not part of Tim Hortons, are you?" And he said, No. Is that, they're selling cigarettes and all that sort of stuff?
Yes,
That's part of the mobile?
that's the mobile, yes.
Okay, well, anyway, it's to me, a difficult site. And I agree with the city on the menu boards on the one side, but I disagree with the city on the side facing Southfield Road. To me, it's just exactly like what we saw in the House of Watch Bands. Southfield Road goes this way, and they won't know it, and they can put it up there, and I don't think it's not visible. I think would be very visible. So I would disagree with the city on that, and I would go along with what the appellant asks.
If I might just add a comment to the board that I didn't add my findings. there will be, the panel that's blank right now on the ground sign will say Tim Hortons on it to advertise to south and northbound Southfield Road. So they'll know that there's a Tim Hortons in the building.
I still stay with what I said.
Okay. Mr. Rogers?
Currently, there's 2 signs for the gas station. Why do you need 2 for a gas station? So that's, wouldn't it be best to have 2 for the restaurant, 1 for the gas station? And then they're asking for something that, it's not a sign proliferation thing. That's just my opinion. Everyone knows what a gas station looks like. You know, you see the pumps, you see the cars. But the Tim Hortons, you might not see it going both ways on Southfield Road, so I would suggest having a sign there for sure. So I don't disagree with I think they should have the both signs on both sides. But I think that also, my suggestion would be to, you know, if you're going to have a dual-use gas station, restaurant thing going on there, which is more commonly being done now, maybe that's one way of doing it, because I think gas stations are obvious. You can drive in any direction. You know what a gas station looks like. You don't have to have a sign on it. That's just my opinion.
Or I feel like we should look at them at the same time,
Yeah.
not secondarily after the gas station's already operational.
That's right.
Anyway, Ms. Leslie?
I thought that they're requesting the second sign on the east elevation. Facing Southfield is the west elevation, is it not?
No, that's the east elevation.
East is when you're coming along 13 Mile going west. Oh, no, it
No,
goes
yeah,
east,
you're
never
going
mind.
east, yeah.
Yes.
West is the other, all right. I wanted to clear that up in my mind. All right. I think that it's too many signs. There's really, it won't be seen at that point. It'll be seen from the front and from the ground sign and from, it's too many signs, and everybody knows what a Tim Horton. There's no need to educate people in this particular case. So I'm going to agree with the city's findings.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Friedman?
I disagree with the city's finding as for the sign of the east elevation. I think that's the most important location for a sign for the building. I mean, the one on the north is kind of blocked in a lot of ways by the canopy, or, you know, for people especially on Southfield Road. And I think Southfield's clearly the bigger road. I think that east elevation is the necessary one, so I would approve both signs.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. I mean, I was thinking that I would consider 13 Mile as maybe not as large of a thoroughfare as Southfield Road, but certainly still a major thoroughfare. So I was also thinking that it would warrant a sign on each elevation. So who wants to take a stab at amending the motion? Mr. Friedman, you're up.
Sure. Am I making a motion with both sides?
Yes, please.
Okay. The appellant Ford Tech Signs, Abraham McHeimek, representing the owner, Abbas Oil LLC, is requesting the following waiver from the board: an additional wall signage, additional wall sign area, and auxiliary electronic sign menu board. The property is located at the west side of Southfield Road between 12 and 13 Mile Roads, 30915 Southfield Road, Sybil parcel 2411226-004. I recommend that we...
Motion.
Yeah, you make a motion, you're making it, granting,
I make a motion that we grant the motion for both signs with the following conditions. The appellant agrees to eliminate the future use of banners, balloons, or balloon structures, or portable signs or flags other than the United States or the state of Michigan, or vehicles displaying advertising signage parked to be visible to the right-of-way as required by ordinance. No permanent searchlights be used to gain attention to the site or any feature of the building. All other signage at the site meet the definition of directional signage. No other temporary or permanent signage advertising products or promotions to the drive-up customers. No signage be attached to the speaker stand or monument sign in the south elevation, and that the owner be brought back to this board at the first available meeting if violations of these conditions are noted. And the appellant agrees to provide a copy of these conditions to the local manager at the site and explain the consequences of the violations.
Yes.
would you like to include the menu board as part of your grant?
Yeah, so it's 2 wall signs and a menu board.
Both wall signs and the menu board.
Yes.
Thank you.
If I might, through the chair, and an electronic menu board, make sure
Oh,
you...
electronic menu board,
To
okay.
include the electronic menu as well.
Great, and then I do think we need to explain the couple of things of,
Okay.
at least the first one.
This recommendation is based on the fact that the site is a mixture of 2 distinct uses within the sign ordinance, a gas station and a drive-through restaurants, both having unique needs for signage. And
And that's fine, I think, unless you want to add anything else. That's fine? Okay. Can I have a second? Thank you. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
All right, your motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Will the city call the next case, please?
For ZBA case 1927, the appellant Levanway Sign Company Incorporated, representing the owner VTP West Oaks LLC, is requesting the following waiver from the board for a review of condition number 2 of ZBA Zoning Board of Appeals case 1813 for the modification of a ground sign. The property is located on the south side of West 11 Mile Road between Greenfield and Fairfield at 15833 West 11 Mile Road, Sidwell parcel 2424226-032, zoned RM, multiple family. This appeals to section 8.54, article 11, chapter 99 of the Southfield City Code, more commonly known as the sign ordinance.
Okay, thank you. Hi, good evening.
Good evening. Brad from Levanway Sign Company, 22124 Telegraph Road, Southfield. Brad Warden,
you.
by the way.
Great, thank you. Will you give us a summary of what you're asking for and
Okay,
why?
the owner of the apartment complex would like a new sign. What they have is rather large and pretty outdated. So when we actually gave them the initial design that fit within the code, we did a small sample for them, and they were rather worried that with the setback, it was somewhat small. So what we're looking for is a variance in square footage and a little bit in height.
Okay. Okay, will the city read the findings of fact, please?
For ZBA case 1927, the appellant, Levanway Sign Company Incorporated, representing the owner VTP West Oaks LLC, is requesting the following waiver from the board for a review of condition number 2 of Zoning Board of Appeals case 1813 for the modification of a ground sign. Property is located on the south side of West 11 Mile Road between Greenfield Road and Fairfield at 15833 West 11 Mile Road, Sidwell parcel 2424226-032, zoned RM, residential, multiple family. To the north, across 11 Mile Road, the property is zoned RA, single-family residential, and developed with the Fairfax condominiums. To the south, the properties are zoned R3, single-family residential, and developed with single-family dwellings fronting onto Meadowwood Avenue. To the east, the properties are zoned RM, multiple family residential, and are developed under the Finn Michael consent judgment with a vacant lot and a restaurant. To the west, the properties are zoned R3, single-family residential, and developed with single-family homes fronting onto Greenlee Court and RM, multiple family residential, and are developed with Chestnut Oaks Apartments. The subject property is currently developed with a multiple family apartment complex consisting of several buildings and carports. One main entrance exit exists at the road and contains an island at the 11 Mile Road frontage. The site is a single parcel that contains 7.8 acres with 100 feet of frontage on 11 Mile Road, which is devoted to an entry road to the apartments, which are located behind the apartments that front onto 11 Mile Road. A survey of signage at the site reveals the following. 1, legal non-conforming ground sign, 56.5 square feet in area, 5 feet in overall height without the roof, at the required setback and out of the corner clearance area at the 11 Mile Road entrance exit. Assorted directional signage at the site. 2, non-permitted ground signs, West Oaks near the leasing office, which were never permitted. Multiple prohibited sign types exist, not granted in any ZBA case, and a violation of the conditions of the previous waiver. At the site, including illegal portable signs, illegal banners on the masonry wall and along the east elevation separating the restaurant and apartment complex, a secondary illegal banner on the ground sign along the 11 Mile Road frontage. In the RM multiple family residential high-rise, in the multiple family residential district, the site would be permitted one garden ground sign at a maximum of 25 square feet in area and a minimum of 2 feet from the property line, not located in any clearance area. In addition, one wall sign is permitted for the development 32 square feet in area, and the signage must face a major thoroughfare. A waiver was granted in ZBA case 1813 for a 56.5 square foot of sign area with the condition, which was number 2, that any changes be brought back to this board for approval. The appellant is proposing to replace the existing 56.5 square foot in area garden ground sign granted in ZBA case 1813 with a new garden ground sign 35 square feet in area, 5 feet in height at the required setback.
Okay, thank you. Do you agree with those facts?
Yes, I do.
Okay, is there anything you'd like to add at this point?
No.
Okay, will the city read the staff recommendation, please?
Staff's recommendation is for favorable consideration of the review of condition number 2 of ZBA case 1813 for the modification of a ground sign, with the following conditions. The owner agreed to eliminate any prohibited sign types, banners, balloons, balloon structures, portable signs of any type, vehicles or persons displaying signs visible to the right-of-way, or flags other than country or state designations as required by ordinance. The signage must be installed as presented, signed and dated as an appeal for this case, and any changes other than face changes must be brought back to this board for approval. The appellant must provide a landscape plan for the area surrounding garden ground sign for approval by the planning department as required by ordinance. Was this, if I might, it was the same condition on the previous case, and they did submit that to the planning department, so that was done on the previous case. The ownership shall contact the planning department to rectify the changes to the site plan in regard to an entrance added to the site through the properties along Southfield Road without approval, and that is there's a requirement for a unpierced masonry wall, and it has been pierced to provide an entrance from the properties off of Greenfield Road through those properties and parking area into the back of the site. This recommendation is based on the following. The proposed garden ground sign was located at the existing location without traffic or pedestrian incident. And the proposed garden ground sign is smaller in area than what was granted in ZBA case 1813 and should help locate the apartment complex, which is hard to locate and far from the roads and behind other apartment buildings.
Okay, thank you. Do you have anything you'd like to add at this point?
No, and reading number 3, does the city contact the ownership, or does that fall on me for the codicil of, or the condition for approval?
It's a condition of approval that they need to contact the planning department to rectify.
The ownership does.
So I should tell the ownership
Yes,
to
correct.
contact you? I didn't
Yes.
know if you send out anything to them. Okay. Nope, that's it.
Okay. Mr. Rogers? Oh, wait, I'm sorry, I didn't open up public comment. My apologies. If there's anyone from the public who wishes to speak on this case, please step forward. Seeing none, we'll close public comment and turn it over to the board. Mr. Rogers?
I just have, first question is, it says with the following conditions, number 3, regarding Southfield Road, what is that?
So that's what Ed was
It's
explaining.
Greenfield Road?
Oh,
Yeah.
Greenfield.
That was the
You mean
correction.
Greenfield, not
No,
Southfield?
it's
Sorry,
Greenfield
yes.
Road, so, okay.
Greenfield, okay.
That was mine. With regards to the garden ground sign and the changes, I'm in favor of it. I think that you definitely can't see anything at night. The lighting's, it's not there. So an illuminated sign would definitely be appropriate, and it's smaller, which is also even better. And it's not going to affect anything as far as, visual defects or anything like that. So I'm in favor of it.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Wygum?
Let me ask you this, Ed. When we do this, is it like the other one where they have violations and they're going to get in trouble if they don't clean up their act?
If I might, through the chair to Mr. Wygum, it's kind of unique because I have not had one violation out there for so long with the previous sign, and then when I came to do the write-up on it, there were signs there, and I'm like, wow, this is really strange. So they do not have a history of doing it at all.
But it's a new owner, right? Didn't you identify that it's a new owner?
I believe so. I'm actually doing this through a broker for the owner. I've only met them once.
Okay. So, I mean, that could explain it. So we need to set the new owner straight from the beginning.
Okay. Well, I don't have any problem with it at all. It's a nice development, and it's kind of hidden back there, and so I go along with the city on this.
All right, thank you. Ms. Leslie?
Yeah, I feel the same way as my colleague here. I'm concerned that if we give them this sign without them cleaning up their act, that it'll just continue. I think we need to have a signed and notarized letter from the owners and an actual cleanup before the permit is granted, in my opinion. I think the sign is fine. I just don't like people ignoring what they agreed to in the first place.
And not that long ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Just last year. All right, Mr. Friedman?
Yeah, I don't have any problem with the sign. I will note, I just drove by there just now. It seems to be up with all kinds of balloons and banners attached to it. But
That's new to me, even since I've been to the site, so.
But I have no issues with the staff's recommendation.
I also agree, so the sign you're putting up is 35 square feet, but we're not taking away those other 20 feet. They still could put up a sign up to 56 square feet if they wanted to.
If I might, through the chair, I think we should leave that waiver there. I did mention it to the sign contractor that I was going to leave it at that.
Could go bigger
And,
if you wanted. Okay.
If they choose to do that, that's fine, because I do believe with it being so far back that it
Right.
really could use a larger sign, but
Right,
again,
wasn't it called Hidden Oaks? And it was kind of called Hidden Oaks for a reason.
I can't force the contractor or the owner to make a bigger sign. They can only make one if they want one.
Okay, okay. All right, so, I mean, that was my only question. I don't have a problem. I think it looks really nice. I think it'll look nice in that location, and I agree with my colleagues that said it's, a illuminated sign makes a lot of sense in that location. So, Ms. Lesney, you feel up for it?
Okay, I am, but
Okay.
I am going to put in there that
The
I
signed
want
letter.
a signed letter.
I got it.
And
Yep.
Before I start my motion,
Yep,
I want people
agreed.
to know that's what I'm going to do. Regarding ZBA case 19-27, where there is a review of condition number 2 of ZBA case 1813 for the modification of a ground sign to the property located on the southwest side of West 11 Mile Road between Greenfield and Fairfield at 15833 West 11 Mile Road, Sidwell parcel 2424-226-032. I move that we grant the modification of item number 2, condition number 2 of the ZBA case 1813 with the following conditions. The owner agrees to eliminate any prohibited sign types such as banners, balloons and balloon structures, portable signs of any kind, vehicles or persons displaying signs visible to the right-of-way, or flags other than country or state designations as required by ordinance. The sign must be installed as presented, signed, and dated as exhibited for this case, and any changes other than face changes must be brought back to this board for approval. The appellant must provide a landscape plan for the area surrounding the garden ground sign for approval by the planning department as required by ordinance, and the ownership shall contact the planning department to rectify the changes to the site plan in regard to the entrance added to the site through properties along Greenfield Road without approval. I'm going to add that they must present a signed and notarized plan and remove all of the non-approved things that they have put up on the portable signs and other things that they have put up and that they have ignored.
Previous conditions.
Pardon me?
I said they've ignored previous conditions.
Exactly, ignored previous conditions. And I'd like that before permit can be granted. This grant is based on the following: that the proposed garden ground sign was located at the existing location without traffic or pedestrian incident. The proposed garden ground site is smaller in area than what was granted in case 1813 and should help locate an apartment complex which is located far from the road and behind other apartment buildings.
Thank you. Can I have a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Will the city call the next case, please?
For ZBA case 1923, the appellant Sam Dorsch, an architect representing the owner George Glassman, is requesting the following from the board: a variance of 7 feet of front yard landscape width along Telegraph Road, 15 feet required, 8 feet provided. Property is located on the east side of Telegraph Road between Bell and 12 Mile Roads. Sidwell parcel 2417426-008 at 27,000 Telegraph Road, zoned RS Regional Shopping. This appeal is to section 5.134, paragraph 2, subsection B, subsection 6, article 14, chapter 45 of the Southfield City Code, more commonly known as the zoning ordinance.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi, good evening. George Glassman, 28,000 Telegraph Road. I apologize that Sam Dorchen's not here and you have to put up with me this evening. I'm seeking a variance of 7-foot yard landscape width along Telegraph Road. 15 feet is required and 8 feet is currently provided. We inherited that property. It was in this condition for the last roughly 45 years. It's consistent with the property next door, also owned by Glassman Automotive Group, and new landscaping has been installed in accordance with the landscape plan in conjunction with the planning department. That's already been done with the understanding that there was that variance of 7 feet.
Okay.
Thank you.
Will the city read the staff recommendation, please? Or, I'm sorry, read the findings of fact, sorry.
For ZBA case 19-0023, the appellant, Sam Dorchen, architect, representing the owner, George Glassman, is requesting the following from the board: variance of 7 feet of front yard landscape setback along the Northwestern Highway Service Drive, 15 feet required, 8 feet provided. Property is located on the east side of Telegraph Road between Bell and 12 Mile Road, Sidwell parcel 2417426-008, 27,000 Telegraph Road, zoned RS Regional Shopping. The subject property is developed with a new and used vehicle dealer lot for Glassman Automotive. The property to the north is zoned RS Regional Shopping and is developed with the Glassman Automotive Group. The property to the south and east is zoned B3 General Business and is developed with the new Soul Garden Restaurant Plaza. The property to the east is zoned RMU Multiple Family High Rise and is developed with the River's Edge Office Complex under the landmark consent judgment. And the property to the west consists of Northwestern Highway and Telegraph Road rights-of-way. The site contains 3.9 acres of land with approximately 590 feet of frontage on the Northwestern Highway Service Drive and a depth of 350 feet. The approved rezoning, special use, and site plan requests indicate the conversion of the former Toys R Us retail building and property to an automotive dealer lot. Further, it indicates the installation of a bike rack, landscaping, and pedestrian connection. The property was rezoned from B3 General Business to RS Regional Shopping on March 26, 2018 to allow for the automotive dealer lot use. The front yard landscaping width was legal non-conforming under the B3 general business zoning requirements. 15 feet required, 8 feet provided. Because the building was constructed in 1970, but minimum landscape widths with requirements were not adopted into the zoning ordinance until after that date. The appellant owns the automotive dealership to the north. The property is also non-conforming in terms of front yard setback in the RS Regional Shopping District. Section 5.134, subsection 2, paragraph B, Article 14 of the zoning ordinance states that a 15-foot landscape setback shall be provided between any existing or proposed right-of-way line, whichever is greater, in any outdoor display of new or used automobiles. The approved landscape plan indicates the retention of 22 ornamental pear and crab trees along with an existing maple tree, 133 new evergreen shrubs, 23 deciduous shrubs, and 51 dwarf fountain grasses will be added along the Northwestern Highway Service Drive frontage.
Okay, thank you. Do you agree with those facts?
I do.
Is there anything you'd like to add?
No, thank you.
Okay, let's study with staff recommendation, please.
Staff's recommendation is to approve based upon the following findings. The landscape frontage variance requested is needed to address a nonconformity on the site. The property has been legal nonconforming in terms of front yard landscaping setback since the building was constructed in 1970. However, the rezoning triggered the need for a variance. Additionally, the rezoning did not cause the property to become more nonconforming in this regard, as 15 feet of front yard landscaping is required for car dealerships in both the B3 general business and RS regional shopping zoning districts. The variance request will have minimal adverse effects on the surrounding properties, especially since the petitioner owns the adjacent property to the north that is also non-conforming in terms of front yard landscape width. Increasing the landscaping along the Northwestern Highway Service Drive would cause encroachment into minimum driveway widths, decrease vehicular circulation on the site, and/or would eliminate required and desired parking and vehicle storage areas along the frontage. The approved landscape plan indicates compliance with the city ordinances pertaining to the required landscape area on the overall site and will provide increased curb appeal. The variance for landscaping abutting a street will have minimal adverse effects on the surrounding properties and is in character with the zoning ordinance, and that the transitional nature of the area is maintained even with the deficiency in landscaping abutting the street.
Okay, thank you. Anything else you'd like to add? Okay, we'll open up public comment. Seeing none, we'll close public comment, turn it over to the board. Mr. Rogers?
I don't have any issues with this. This is a natural progression of taking the land next to yours. Toys R Us was there for years, and now it's time for the Glassman Automotive Group to, have some more area to sell their products. So, and the landscape buffer, it should stay consistent in that area, which it is with the 7 feet. So I would approve something like this.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Weigand?
Where did you say Sam was? I miss him. He hasn't
I
been here
do too. I saw him today. He's playing hooky. I think he's watching the baseball game.
Yeah, he used to come quite often. I haven't seen him for quite a while.
He asked me to fill in. So
I don't have a problem with this. You got cars, and more cars in there when I went past, and some little itty bitty shrubs along there. But there's minimal area that you can plant, and I think you're going to do the best you can, and I don't have a problem with the city's
All
recommendation.
right, thank you. Ms. Selesny?
I agree.
Okay, Mr. Friedman?
I have no issues with it.
I don't either. So, Mr. Friedman, will you make a motion for us?
Sure. The appellant, Sam Dorchin, architect, representing the owner, George Glassman, is requesting the following from the board. A variance of 7 feet of front yard landscape setback along the Northwestern Highway Service Drive, 15 feet required, 8 feet provided. I move that we grant this.
Can you read the address, please? Address and Sidwell.
The property is located on the east side of Telegraph Road between Bell and 12 Mile Road, Sidwell parcel 2417-426-008 at 227,000 Telegraph Road, zoned RS Regional Shopping.
Thank you.
I move that we grant this request based on the following. The landscape frontage variance requested is needed to address the nonconformity on the site. The property has been legal nonconforming in terms of front yard landscaping setbacks since the building was constructed in 1970. However, the rezoning triggered the need for a variance, and it did not cause the property to become more nonconforming. This variance request will also have minimal adverse effects on the surrounding properties, especially since the petitioner owns the adjacent property, and increasing the landscaping along Northwestern Highway Service Drive would cause encroachment into the minimum driveway widths and decrease vehicular circulation in the site, and would eliminate required and desired parking along the frontage. The approved landscape plan indicates the compliance with city ordinances pertaining to required landscaping area and on the overall site, and will provide increased curb appeal, and the variance for landscaping abutting the street will have a minimal adverse effects on the surrounding properties and is in character with the zoning ordinance in the transitional nature of the area.
Thank you very much. Can I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Have a good night.
You too.
Tell
Okay.
Sam hi.
Next on the agenda is a couple set of minutes, so let's start with September 3rd, 2019. I think we are acknowledged that we are missing the beginning, opening remarks of the meeting, which I'm assuming did not get picked up on the video recording and also didn't get picked up on the audio recording either. Everything missed it. Our backup didn't work.
I'm sorry. So, I think I'm going to ask the board to hold on to these set of minutes,
Okay.
because I believe we probably have it on this, and I would like
That's
to
what I was
have
thinking. I
it
thought the audio
resubmitted
is our,
properly.
like, secondary backup to the video. Okay. Did anybody else have anything else? I think on page 30, line 22, Ms. Selesny's speaking, and it says, I have two problems with this, but I want to make sure if that, is that, do we think we were saying you have two problems or you have no problems?
Where is this?
Page 30, line 22.
I didn't even catch that.
Well, it may not be wrong, but I think it's somehow wrong. It either should be 2 TWO,
Yeah.
or it should be, I have no problems with this.
Yes. I'm just reading it again to make sure.
Because I think you often say I have no problems with it, but I don't know that you do.
I think it was two. I think there's two issues that I'm bringing up.
Okay, so it should be 2 TWO then. Okay, that was the only thing I had. So we can hold on to those. Well,
Do you
no,
want us to?
they're going to have to,
If you want, to the chair and to the board, keep going with your changes. They can all be added in along with the extra
right,
front stuff.
right. Is there any other changes on this set?
I have none.
Yeah, I don't think anybody had any more.
Do you want us to
So-
give these back to you?
Well, we can't really do anything with, if they're going to redo the front, we'll just wait.
We'll just bring them back to you at the next meeting and
Okay.
have you just sign, you'll just look at the front page and then sign off on them,
Okay.
if that's all right with the board.
Okay, yep, that's fine. So we are going to table, right,
You
minutes?
don't even have to do
We don't need
anything.
to, okay. Moving on. Tuesday, September 18th. Anybody had any changes?
I just have one, and it's me again.
Okay, what page?
And I don't, page 31.
Okay, line,
And I'm not sure, line 11.
okay,
And I'm not quite sure what it's saying that I said because I can't figure it out. It says, it's been there for a very long time. It was a time when we
you were
had their
responding to
neighbor.
me. Yep, you were responding to me. I recall you were responding to me because I was asking about, I was going to wait to see if any neighbors showed up to request the wall versus keeping the fence.
Yeah.
And then you were reflecting on the neighbors.
Yeah, and I can't imagine what Midledge is.
Oh, the neighbor's last name?
No?
No? Okay.
What is mitlage?
That's what we're trying to figure
I
out.
have no idea.
We had their neighbors, maybe just from the north, of the north. Okay, so maybe we should just want to strike it to say we had their neighbors.
Of the north
Of the
came
north.
here requesting. That part is true.
Okay,
I just couldn't figure out what that was.
okay. Okay, anybody else?
Yeah, I have one on page 11,
Okay.
line 16. Mr. Wygum didn't say that. I think you said that. If
Oh.
you guys would step back up to the podium, you dummies.
That is probably me.
That wasn't me, I didn't say
I
that.
don't know. Maybe you did, because you were
No.
talking and you couldn't hear them.
Why does it have two times then? Mr. Wygum and then Mr. Wygum?
Because you sat back like this.
I didn't say that.
Okay, that's fine. It can be me.
Or maybe it was just no break, it just sort of, I noticed that, but maybe it just should, just a continuation.
Well, I mean, we need to go back, they need to go back and look at it, I
I
guess.
wouldn't say, want this on the record, I just don't say that.
If I might, to the chair, to Mr. Wygan, we will go back and have her rehear. We'll give her the copy of the
Audio.
audio.
Okay, that'd be fine.
That's my only comment.
Okay. Anybody find anything else?
No,
Okay, so do we want to approve these, or do we need to wait for that change?
You can,
Approve it with those two changes?
yeah.
Okay, and then we'll verify it before we sign off on them. So can I have a motion to approve the minutes from September 18th, 2019 with the changes we've identified?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next meeting, November 19th, oh, many years ago, the year 219. Interesting.
It's a long time ago.
In a land
galaxy
far
far
away.
Yeah, so it's November 19th, 2019. We have two cases, a fence case and a residential case. If everyone also remembers, the first meeting in December is our year-end meeting. So we're going to send you an email again requesting if you have any questions or anything that you would like to discuss with the legal department, we can provide them here, but they usually ask for you to provide those questions in advance so that they can answer the questions, be able to research them and answer the questions when they come to that first meeting in December. It's also the election of your officers and the adoption of the calendar.
I have one comment. Again, and I asked this the last time, it was in the minutes. When writing this up, if there's a building that's got a name on it or something.
I will try my best to
Please.
remember that. I'm sorry. I will try my best, Mr. Wyman.
All right.
I really think since we had that one meeting a couple years ago and changed kind of the stopping and starting of the conversation, I think that's probably the biggest change we've had that since I've been on the board that's made the difference.
Yeah,
So
I think it's
I
it's been a
generally
good
think it's
change.
operating, well, I don't have any, in my just kind of reflection, I don't have any major changes for the operations or the, what are they, the rules of
If you
operation
might
or whatever
just-
they're called, the
just
bylaws or whatever.
Everybody think about it. And we'll send you out an email to remind you. And then if you can just send back any comments you have, and then we'll forward them to the legal department.
Okay. So miscellaneous, you gave us a nice new fancy copy of the zoning ordinance.
Yes.
Can you
I'll-
flag the pages of what changed for us, please?
If I might, there's a couple of new sections of the ordinance in there that relate to, their actual, almost whole ordinances in there. There's just a couple of sections changes in there. Maybe Sarah could help me out with it a little bit, please.
I might.
The searchlights, is that
To the
new?
board.
That seems new.
There's quite a big section on the medical marijuana licensing
Sure, that makes sense.
provisions.
Okay.
Some changes to, some additions to address sexually oriented businesses.
Okay.
Trying to think of, I think that's pretty much it.
So nothing on recreational marijuana that'll
No,
come
nope,
later?
We've opted
2
out.
years? Okay.
No,
Oh,
right,
okay,
for now, we're opted out and,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Did you do anything with that silly new sign or fence ordinance the way on corner clearance areas, by any chance?
No, I don't believe there has been any modifications to the fence ordinance in this current copy of the zoning ordinance.
Okay.
Are
Too
we
bad.
going to have an exam on this?
Yes, second meeting in December will be the exam. Okay.
I make a move that we adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Sure do.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.